Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Hello and welcome to our daily show. Today, we're talking about two types of money. Did you know that there was more than one type of money? We're going to talk about what those two types are and what do they mean for you, right?
Yes. So look, if you're interested in money, if you're interested in money, finances, where do these things come from? Why it used to be backed by gold? Why is it not backed by gold? How to get more of it? What you need to do to take care of your family, take care of your employees, your business, your community,
Your kids,
all these different
your wife,
things.
Your side chick.
Yeah, your kids, your wife, your side chick, your three wives.
Don't have side chicks.
Just marry three women, and then you'll
or
be good.
one.
Yeah, so marry
One
three
is
wives.
more than enough.
Get three wives,
Right.
and then you'll be good. Top of the morning to you. So look.
He's not going to answer that question.
I'm married to one wife while I'm seeking two more.
Oh, okay. News to me.
I have announced breaking news to my current wife that I'm seeking two more wives.
Apparently we're hiring.
She needs some help. She needs some
I
help.
need a housewife.
Yeah. She needs a housewife.
Yeah.
So there you go. So we're talking
What the
today.
heck are we talking about?
We're talking about two types of money, and how they impact you, and how you're. Let me preface it by saying this. A lot of people talk about seeking sister wife. Yeah. A lot of people talk about your mindset about money, but money's never really been defined for a lot of people.
And you gotta have a lot of money if you have more than one wife.
You do need more money if you got more wives. So it's important to understand these things. And so we're going to talk about that today. Two types of money, what they are, and how it impacts you. Top of the morning to you, how it impacts you, and what some of the things that you can actually do to position yourself and your family in the right environment, the right way, and the right thinking. So why don't you hit them with the first type of money?
Okay, so the first type of money is the money that's backed by something. Okay, the only thing really that we have that's backed by anything is silver certificates. I hadn't really even seen them before you printed this out. Our money used to be backed by gold, but it's not anymore. So what the heck is up with that? And what are these silver certificates, and where can I get some?
So I want to give you a little brief history on why. You ever wonder why the dollar is called a dollar? You ever wonder where did that name come from? It actually is named after the Spanish dollar. So way back in the day, they used to be minting coins. And those coins, the silver coins, ended up being referred to as dollars. They had a different name for it, and English to change things to make it sound more the way that they could pronounce it. So then it became a dollar. So that became the currency we started using in America. Now, there's something to understand about banking itself. I won't go. This is going to be just a kind of high level discussion, because when you start talking about like the Federal Reserve and all these different things, sometimes they censor your videos and different things like that. So I will show you, if you want to understand this subject deeper, things you can read. We have a membership where we're discussing these things in greater detail that you can participate in. So understanding from how did banking itself come about, and how did how did these paper money, how does all this stuff come about? So before, people would carry and transact in gold. Gold and silver were the currency. But gold and silver were heavy to carry around. If any of you own gold and silver, you probably don't walk around with it every day in your wallet like you might with this paper. So as a result, people would go and actually store their money with the goldsmith. So they'll go and store their money with the goldsmith, or they'll have different places where they would store their money. Like they came into town, they would store their money there, and then they would get a receipt. That receipt was easier to carry around because you knew that receipt was backed by actual gold somewhere that was being held for that person. It had a stamp, all that validated that receipt. So let's say this guy went to the local pub, went to the little inn. He could exchange that receipt, the paper, and the manager of the inn or the owner of the pub would accept that paper, because they knew that they could go to the goldsmith or wherever that money was stored and retrieve it in gold. They knew they could do that. So instead of carrying all this gold and silver around, people just started accepting these paper receipts. So as a result, there used to be a Spanish coin that was called their dollar. And then eventually, when the US issued their currency, they made it equal to the Spanish dollar. So that's how we got the name US dollar. There's many different dollars around the world. Even Liberia, where I was from, there's the Liberian dollar. So there's the US dollar. So now it used to be when they got, let me share this with you guys really quick. So you can kind of see what a silver certificate used to, what it looked like. You want to hold this one up? Yeah, I have that one up. They can show
This
that.
is one here.
Yeah.
It looks very much like the dollar, but it says silver certificate. This certifies that there is on deposit in the Treasury of the United States of America. And you will not see this on our regular dollars these days. This certificate is legal tender for all debts, public and private. But you won't see that on our regular dollar, that it's backed by anything or that it certifies there's anything anywhere representing it.
So back in the day, if you had this piece of paper, just like you could go to the goldsmith and redeem it in actual gold, this was a silver certificate. This was a receipt for silver. And so that meant it says on deposit of the Treasury, $1 in silver payable to the bearer on demand. So I could go there and demand, hey, I've got this $1. I want it back. I want silver. I want to redeem this for silver. The same thing was done with gold. You had gold certificates, which allowed you to then redeem it in gold. So it looked like this. Right? You want to show that? I'll do it on the screen share here. So you could redeem it in gold. So it was backed by something. Right? It was backed by something. So this was a $10,000 gold certificate. So it was
show me the money.
So it was backed by something. And then so what does that mean for you? It meant that gold is finite. Silver, is finite. So if you're a banker and you're trying to create more money, what happened is bankers, the guy who was storing the gold, he realized that people didn't actually come and redeem the actual gold. They just kept trading the paper back and forth with each other because they knew it was good for the gold that was being held. So that person, remember, the guy who was keeping the gold, he remembered that, hey, you know what? These people aren't actually coming physically to collect this gold. So I can actually issue more receipts. I can manufacture more receipts because he would charge interest. So he could imagine if you had the ability to then make money, manufacture money. So that's what was happening. The person who was storing the money, that became now the banker, or the guy who holding the money, had the ability to now manufacture the money. So they just created more receipts, more paper, because the people weren't actually going physically to collect the gold. And then, now imagine if you had that ability, right? I'm going to share this quote with you. I'll have Chelsea read it.
Now that's some of the draw with crypto too, because some of the coins are finite, right? Some of them, there's not like an infinite supply.
Yeah, so some of them,
so much.
So some of them is finite, right? It's a finite amount of money. This is something that Henry Ford said. So can you see it enough to read it?
Let me put my spectacles on. It is well enough that the people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system. For if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
Henry Ford.
So he was saying that people do not actually understand where their money comes from. They know they go to work to get it. They know they need it to pay their bills, but they don't understand the banking and monetary system in America. They just know they hate that gas prices are high, but they don't understand the source of inflation. It's confusing to people. It can seem very complicated because it's meant to be. They don't teach you about money and finances in school. Why? They teach you about all kinds of bullshit in school, but it never teach you practical skills that you actually need. I said the other day,
they don't want you to figure it out.
I said the other day, anytime you ever see a rich person, you never think, hey, I wonder what school that guy went to. You never think that Because deep down, deep down, they do not actually teach you the skills to be successful in life. You know that. That's why you never think, gee, I wonder what school that guy graduated
You know what's
from or that lady
interesting?
graduated from.
You know how many super successful people that get asked to come and speak at like college graduations, and they all say, I didn't go to college or I dropped out of college, but good luck
Yeah.
with your college education.
Well, it's why I dropped out. I came to America. I graduated high school at 16 years old, right? So I graduated high school at 16 years, so I go to college. I was one of the youngest people there, and I was studying business.
One of the oldest.
I was one of the youngest people there. I was studying business, and do you know that my business professor had never owned a business before? So how are you going to teach me something you had zero practical experience in? Not even a little bit. What he would do that was actually very smart is he would bring people in to guest lecture. And then these guys were people who were practitioners. They were operating businesses. And so they would come in and share their experience. And almost none of them graduated from college. They all like, hey, I started my business. I went in and so I realized, oh, in America, apparently to be successful, you do not need a college degree. And then when I'm like, okay, I think I want to go into the workforce. I want to skip the college thing and go into the workforce. And I think that would be a better way for me to learn. So I went and did that. Once I started doing that, can you imagine a professor never owned a business before? And then once I started doing that, I realized something even more crazy. I started working at Nordstrom's. Almost everybody at Nordstrom's had a college degree. None of them were working in the field that degree was in. So I'm like, okay, this college thing seems to be a bit of a scam.
Paying for student loans.
Yeah. I'm like, this college thing seems to be confusing. First, I came to America because I wanted to go to college. I escaped a war in Liberia. I came to America. I worked hard, graduated high school with good grades. I went in there. I was about to get a scholarship. I had to be here for a year. I had to go for a year in school first because I was an international student. Then I would qualify for the scholarships that they were giving. So
you get student loans to pay for college to get a job to pay for the student loans.
Yeah, and then you're not working in the field that you took your thing was in. So everybody
most of the
has
time. Now college is not always bad, and some things you do need college for. Sometimes it can be appropriate, but generally speaking.
So today we're talking about two types of money. We're talking about history of money, history of banking, and why the monetary system in America is not properly understood by people. And because you don't understand it, it's very hard for you to take advantage of it. And that means others take advantage of you. So why don't you go into the second type of money?
All right. So number 2 type of money is money backed by nothing. This is the kind of money we got now today, folks. Although here's the catch. It's not even freaking money. Okay. It's debt. People will talk about being debt-free and wanting to not be in debt and not have any debt, and debt is bad. Well, guess what? You're actually saying you don't want any money, the money that we use today.
So it says on there is a Federal Reserve note.
What is a note?
A note is a debt instrument, right? It says on right there, Federal Reserve note.
It's not a love note.
So this one that was backed by silver or by gold, this one here says it was on demand on deposit at the U.S. Treasury. This one does not say on deposit at the U.S. Treasury.
So all of those receipts that were getting written for the gold, more and more and more receipts were being written, and there wasn't enough gold.
Yeah. So
there's a scam being run.
The U.S. got taken off the gold standard, which means there was no longer gold backing up the money. And you could not redeem that paper certificate. Remember when I talked about initially history of banking is that the banker would just continue to write more certificates. Well, now the monetary policy is your government and the Federal Reserve System, they can create more of these. They inflate the monetary supply. Since 2000, there's never been a year where the monetary supply, it wasn't increased year over year. Now, they don't take the money out of supply. It just means there's more and more money. So imagine if you could create more and more money, what would you need people to believe? Because if all of a sudden these were just floating everywhere, how valuable would you think this is? You would not think it's valuable.
Not so much.
I made a post yesterday and said one of the greatest mind mind Fs. One of the greatest mind Fs of all time is getting you to believe this is scarce while they print more of it every day. It's not, they just make more of these every single day. More of these in circulation today than there was yesterday. But they need you to believe that it's scarce so that you feel it is very, very valuable. They need you to think it's scarce. Right?
And hard to get.
And hard to get. If you think it's scarce and hard to get, you will continually accept it and it will continue to print more and more of it. And then when they print more of it, they inflate the amount of money. And so when they inflate the amount of money,
more of these to get the same crap.
Yes, then it takes more of these to buy the same stuff. And so because a lot of people don't understand, now this is a high level, very simplistic view of this. We dive a lot deeper into this. We have a membership where we can just, we teach more about some of these things because sometimes publicly your videos get censored. They reduce the amount of people that see your stuff because you talk about certain topics. So those are some of the things we talk about. This here is money that is backed by nothing. There's nothing backing it. So why do you believe it's valuable? Because you've been told it's hard for you to get it. You have to work really hard to get it. Right. So that's why people believe it's valuable.
It's like with diamonds.
Yes. Same
They're
thing with
not
diamonds.
scarce, but they are scarce from being released into availability.
Yes.
And so it becomes this precious, scarce, coveted thing.
So you have a conglomerate, big company that they control the mining and distribution of diamonds. So they mine diamonds. They don't disclose how much diamonds have been mined necessarily.
It's more than you think.
And then in order for it to be deemed more valuable, so that what was it that you have to pay 3 months of your salary, 3 months of your salary for an engagement ring. That has to be a diamond. Okay. So they've got you bought into the concept and buying something scarce.
Isn't it up to like a year now?
I guess. I don't know what it is now. That they got you believing that it has to be a diamond. It has to be 3 months of your salary, whatever that is. Who knows what your salary is? So it has to be 3 months of your salary, and it has to be a diamond, and it's promoted. You understand? And you're told this thing is very scarce. So now you spend a lot of money on it. In fact, you go into debt to buy this diamond just so you can present it and take pictures and show it on social media.
You know what else they did this with? We just talked about recently about car repos and used cars and auctions. And there's a lot of cars that are being repossessed, but they're not being released for resale. So if you've noticed that like used car sales, the cost has gone up significantly and it's not dropping because even though there's cars available to be sold, they're holding them back. They're holding them back to make them more scarce so they can charge more.
Yeah. The monetary system is very easily manipulated. When your money is backed by nothing, you have to get people to believe that it's extremely valuable. And so they make it complex. So people don't understand how money enters. They just think printing money, but they don't see this money printer because they make it a little bit more complex than just printing the money. If you saw them printing money, you would think, oh, this is crap. This is not valuable. I've lived in countries.
We saw them shredding money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shredding bills.
That's how much money there is. Yeah. Every day at the Fed, we went there and they have a line of people on machines literally feeding dollars, money into the machine, shredding it all day long because they're freaking printing new ones every day.
Yeah. So another thing, if you want to do this exercise, if you want to understand how much money there is on this planet, drive through neighborhoods, drive through any downtown in America. Every single one of those buildings, every single one of those homes, somebody owns them. So if you drive by, most people never do this exercise. They drive by and look at these buildings. Okay, there's $1 million, there's 800,000, there's 10 million, there's 50 million. That building, this building's worth this. There's buildings worth billions of dollars.
And the biggest buildings that you will see are mostly all financial buildings.
Yeah.
Banks.
So once you start to understand that somebody owns this stuff, Somebody ever see? I like to watch like the record real estate prices. Oh, somebody paid, $500 million for this home, or $100 million for this home. I'm like, okay, so somebody has $100 million that they can afford to pay for one home. So you understand there's a tremendous amount of money that's around that exists on this planet, but the people who control a lot of things on this planet need you to believe it's scarce, and they need you to fight among each other for all kinds of dumb stuff. So to keep you occupied, they tell you, okay, you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, now fight against each other. You black, you white, now you guys fight against each other. You this, you that, you from this place, I don't like you, you guys don't like each other. You East Coast, you West Coast, y'all fighting each other. Because when you're fighting each other, you're not pausing to think, damn,
what's really going on?
What's going on? How come they're printing so much of this money, but very little of it is reaching me? How come they printed trillions of dollars, but they only give you $1,200? So they give you just enough so that you think it's really scarce. But imagine if they printed all this money and they give you 10 grand or 50 grand.
But then guess what? The cost of stuff would then go up that much more. So then you
Exactly.
end up in the same place.
Exactly. So they need you to continually believe this is scarce, just like they do with diamonds, just like they do a lot of different things. So money is very easily manipulated when it's not backed by something physical, which means they can continually print more and more of these. So what does that end up meaning for you? Two types of money. Money is backed by something tangible, and money is backed by nothing. It means that you can't make money. Only the government can make money.
Or you go to prison.
You can't make money. If you're very good at art, if you're a very good artist, and you attempt to make a copy of this
temporarily,
you will go to jail. Okay, if you're a very good artist and you're like, damn, I'm a really, really good artist, I can draw really well, I can make a copy of this. No, only them can make copies of it. Okay, so they put rules and laws into place that has enforced that you can't make copies of it. So now they're the only ones that can create it. So that means you can't make money. And what you'd have to do,
unless you want to be a criminal.
Unless you want to be a criminal, yes, or considered a criminal, even though whatever. What you can do is you can collect money. So a lot of people reach out to us and they say, I want to make more money in my business. I want to make more money in my household. I want to expand. I want to grow, all of that. Okay. So then, because I started to do even more and more of a study on this, it's something I've studied for years, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to go refresh on different things I'm studying and start putting it out and talking about it in a different way to people. So you have to collect money from people who already have money. If you're trying to grow a business, which means if you're trying to grow a business, sell a product or service, and you're trying to be in business, you can't sell to somebody who does not have money. They have to collect money from somewhere else and exchange that with you. So I'm not saying, I'm just giving you the real deal. Sometimes you're in business and you're trying to sell to people who don't have any money. You have to find who has money, who has the money that you need and has a problem that you can solve. What is your skill set? What can you make happen? And how can you solve that for that person? And rich people have a lot of problems. And one of the primary things of rich people is when a person's rich, there's a lot of demands on their time. They get pitched on a bunch of different things and all that kind of stuff. So when a person's rich, money is not their primary driver anymore. It's different things they're looking for. So their time factor is extremely important. So then it's like, okay, what can save this person more time? When a person doesn't have a lot of money, they generally tend to have more time. So as a result, they will do things like a rich person would never drive around looking for the cheapest gas. They're like, dude, it's not even worth my time. But when you're broke, you have to. So what do you have? You got time because you don't have a lot of money. So now you got to drive to go all around and use the app and whatever it is to find the cheapest gas.
Then you might use more gas and end up spending the same or more amount of money anyway.
You're not calculating or thinking
I had
about
to learn that one the hard way.
So
I had to give that up.
Yeah. So understand that when you understand money and start to understand the banking system and understand that you can never save more money beyond the rate of inflation. meaning they're going to print more money more than you can actively save. But you may not have all the money you need to invest yet. Invest in something or buy assets with. So in the meantime, you have to save money, store money somewhere, and then leverage that money to buy assets. That's how you use this money. Because this money becomes worth a little bit less every single day because they print more of it. The more they print, the less each one of them is worth. Doesn't matter if it says 100 on here. It can buy less stuff. I collected it back.
I already collected that, and now I'm going to need to collect another one.
So those are some of the things you can do. Now,
and another one.
Yeah. If topics like this is of interest to you and you want to understand, why don't you tell them where they can go?
Yeah, so we have a membership site where we've created tons of resources, courses. We have a whole platform to really teach you the fundamentals about money, about strengthening your financial house, what makes up your financial house, how to identify exactly where you are in each area of your financial house, and what you need to do to get to the next level. We're always adding more resources to this platform, and we're building a community of people who want to learn how to build an unbreakable financial house so you can handle anything that comes your way. You can create the life that you want to live and make the impact that you want to make, and really get the information that you need in order to increase your knowledge, take more responsibility for your actions, and get the information that you're not being told anywhere else, so you have more control over your life and your results. And then you can also take that information and you can help spread that in your family, your business, your community, and really flourish and prosper. So if you want to check out our membership site, you can go to sixbuildingblocks.com/member, sixbuildingblocks.com/member. And if you know anyone who could benefit from this content, who would like this information, please like, comment, and share. Tag somebody, share this stream with them. And if you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out.
Yeah. The most important thing that you can do,
I see you,
is your mind, because you've long been told that this is very, very valuable. In your mind, you have to start thinking every single day this is worth less and less. So I need to collect more and more of them because I need more of these to buy the same amount of things I needed to buy. We've been saying this for years, but now people are seeing astronomically high inflation rates. So now people are getting it more. They're like, oh, I need more money. So you have to not assign so much value to these pieces of paper. What's valuable are people, human beings. They're more valuable. And your ability to then go collect, your skills are more valuable, all of that. So you got to be able to increase your skills so that the marketplace will throw these at you and be like, wow, that person is so good. I'm going to throw more and more of these pieces of paper at them.
Yeah.
So anyway, we talk about this in a much deeper level. We talk about Federal Reserve, all these kinds of different things. I'm putting together a whole new series of videos on what is money, what is banking, how to actually become the banker of your family and your household, how to actually operate like the bank. How do you accumulate money, have it earn interest, and then leverage it to put it to buying assets while your assets continue to appreciate and where you store your money continues to earn interest. So thanks, Jefferson. I appreciate that. Said I'll shout you guys out.
Thank you.
So make sure to go there, sixbuildingblocks.com/member. You can get access to a ton of resources there and ongoing conversations with us on building unbreakable finances. We'll see